Well, and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Dead Sim live stream. Today it's the 26th of October 2025, 35 minutes past 9 in the morning here in the United Kingdom, back in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, because I've been very kindly granted access from Just Flight of the Black Square, Bonanza and Baron series, and today we'll be taking out the Baron B58. The release of this aircraft should be imminent, or an update to this aircraft should be imminent as well. I wanted to fly the twin because in many ways it's similar to the Seneca, in which I did my instrument rating back on in 2010. Took it for a little test sector yesterday, really enjoyed it. We've flown some Black Square aircraft in the past. This is a single independent developer who takes a lot of the default aircraft and really improves on them, and this has to be one of the best twin-engine piston aircraft I've flown. Not only is it massively modern with regards to systems and flight dynamics, but the sounds on this, we're in the turbocharged version of this aircraft, again because the Seneca 2 I used to fly was turbocharged as well. And I thought, because I'm at the middle of my working week, I actually flew. I was going to do this last night, I was called off standby, got back about midnight, and then because of the clock change I was actually quite well rested to do a little stream this morning before I go flying in real life this afternoon to Spain. So we're in Western Australia, a little bit different. Some people hopefully from Australia watching this stream live. Currently in Perth Jandakot, which is one of the main GA airfields to the south of Perth. We're going to be flying southbound to Bunbury. One of the reasons I chose this route is not only people from Australia watch this live, but we've got photogrammetry scenery for this whole way. Once we get to Bunbury, we'll have a quick break, and then we're going to continue southeast to the south coast of Australia to Albany. First flight time about 30 minutes, the second one about 45 minutes to an hour. Plan is to go VFR first sector, IFR on the second. Now we're offline today, but I am online on the Microsoft Flight Sim servers, but I don't think I've got it set up properly to see other live aircraft, so I did announce that this was going to be a multiplayer flight. But if we see any aircraft, it is purely offline today. Live time, live weather, so it should be a bit of a sunset later on as well. Anyway, let's zoom on into the Baron B58. Our reg today is November 7733 kilo. However, I think I need to do something to get the reg to appear, because it's not looking there. And for some reason, I've got some weird artifacts on my winglets, which didn't happen on my test sector. But there we are. I'm already sat in my aircraft, and there is the Beechcraft Baron B58. Now, this is a mainstay of Microsoft Flight Simulator. This aircraft has been available in FSX, Microsoft Flight Sim 2004. It's always been around, so it's great to see one of the default aircraft get a little bit of love. And I went for this sort of orange livery. I think it looks really retro and period of the time of this aircraft here.
Minimums.
Thank you very much, Aaron Hewitt, 1315, just over 2 years as a member. Good morning, Captain, watching from Spain. España, I presume, or is that somewhere I've never heard of, Spain spelled like that? I hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for continued support as a member. Excuse me, I'm quite bunged up at the moment. I'm just coming on the back end of a cold here, so I've just noticed I sound very croaky on the audio there. Who else we've got here in chat? We've got Mitchellwell Woodham, 8382. Beautiful. Jandakot is about 20 minutes from me. One of the busiest GA airports in Australia. Yes, this is one of the reasons I chose it. I was going to depart from the main international airport of Perth, and I saw online that this was a very popular GA airfield, so why not? John Petterfield, I hope you're doing well. Rob Hart, back on Zulu time. Yes, lovely extra hour in bed. 9:38 Zulu, 9:38 UK time as well. It's great to have the same. Stephen as well. Stephen 4005. Thank you very much for all your help. I'm now running, guys, Auto FPS. This, for me, has massively improved my performance in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And what it does, if I just share my screen here, there we are. This runs in the background, and it adjusts your T-LOD and O-LOD on the fly to ensure that you get the best FPS. I've got it set to VFR at the moment, because that's what we're flying. And it has really helped my FPS with my build, so I'd highly recommend taking a look. Completely free to download, so thank you very much, Steve, for your assistance getting that all installed. Perfect. Just excuse me for a second. There we are. Perfect. So, let me grab up Navigraph here so I can show you my routing. So, here we are in Jandakot. We'll be flying southbound, and both Jandakot and Bunbury here, if I select the VFR charts, are photogrammetry cities in Microsoft Flight Sim, so the scenery looks absolutely spectacular as we fly along the west coast of Australia here. And then once we've done a turnaround, we're going to fly IFR and fly an NDB approach into Albany later. But yeah, we'll follow the included checklist here. Now, I'll jump into the cockpit because we're already jumped in there as well. Let me just turn the music down here slightly. So it goes without saying, you know, Black Square aircraft, the quality of the add-on is fantastic, and all modelled, all the circuit breakers, the texture fantastic. I love this wooden backing, very typical of the aircraft of this era, but everything's modelled, the de-icing, I've got my little window open here, and you've got to treat the engines with respect. If I bring up the little included tablet, you can see here, you can see the engine working live time. If you over prime it, there's no prime button on this, but basically you put the throttle on full, turn on the fuel pumps to get fuel into the cylinders before you start the engines. You basically, if you put too much fuel in it, you'll I forgot what the term is called, not hot, yeah, you get hot start and flood the engine, that's it. So you've got to be really careful with that. I was struggling to get the engine started as well, but you can see the engine condition is full left and right, but I did knacker them on one of them. The reason I'm flying the turbocharged version as well, the sounds when the turbo spool up are so cool. But yes, a lot of power on this aircraft. Thank you, yes, Dan Durrani, I forgot what the term was, flooded engine. Now, you've got all different sorts of avionics available. You can download some freeware and payware avionics suites for this aircraft. I've just got the basic GNS default GPSs installed. Lots of other settings here as well. What we're going to do is just Jim and I going flying today, but what I will do is brim the tanks, and we won't have to refuel when we get to Bunbury as well. We'll leave the rest of the aircraft empty. We've got all the ability to turn on external power, engine heater as well. Electrical switches, all the circuit breakers are working. You can see how the bus bar is being powered. Cabin, I think this variant of the aircraft you can get pressurised. I'm in the non-pressurised variant today, but you can see it's a lovely day here in Jandakot, 25 degrees, same as the cabin temperature as well, and whole system. Whole independent systems can be failed for you to practice as well. I mean, if I had my instrument rating, this would have been fantastic to practice. And this has a slaved HSI as well, so you don't have to keep matching the compass, which is really nice as well. Richard Naylor, you've resubscribed after a long break. Hello all, thank you very much for your subscription. John Bradfield says, oh no, brings back memories of dual engine failure. We had that one time. Yes, in the Seneca in the Caribbean, absolutely. Right, let's get the aircraft powered up. So again, I'm following the included checklist with this aeroplane, which is incredibly detailed. We'll do as much of this as possible. The power checks are very long-winded, but we'll run through it perhaps on the first one, and maybe do an abbreviated set of power checks. For example, things like checking all the de-icing boots, the autopilot, etc, etc. So there's checklist. Pre-flight inspection I completed before the start of stream. Control locks I've already removed. Seats and seatbelts secure. Cabin doors latched. I think they're currently closed, but look at this interior, guys. It's not stained enough. This seat's always really badly stained in an aircraft of this age. But yeah, you can see the door does open. There we are. So very, very nice. Just basic hinges. Just reminds me of the Seneca 2 so much. Right, anyway, there you go. Doors and latched. Parking brake, we'll just check is set, which is down here. Parking brake is already on. Now, I'll show you my setup here. I've got yoke cam here. I just used the Airbus side stick, and I've still got these for the props, but the reason I use the joystick for the Airbus is I have the ability to lean the mixture and the props on this setting, which you don't get with the yoke, so I do like using side sticks for this. So parking brake set, emergency gear handle is stowed. Again, you've got the little look at icon if you're not sure where to find it, but that is already in the stowed position, so we can turn that off. Avionics breakers are all in, so all the circuit breakers, let me just reset this here, are all set. Flaps are up, oxygen pressure 1550 to 1850 psi, we've got sufficient oxygen. Avionics are all off, throttles are in the closed position. Propeller is max RPM, so just make sure the blue levers are fully forward. Mixture fully rich, moving to fully rich now. Cowl flaps all open, which are down here. Cowl flaps in the open position. There we are, fully open. Aileron trim is centered, rudder trim is centered, landing gear is down. All sub-panel switches are off, so these are the ones below here, so we don't want any of those on at this present time, so things like your battery and electrical power. Icing systems, it's very well laid out. I love how they're colour-coded. Someone actually thought about this. And the air conditioning and fuel pumps are off. Main breakers are all in there on the left-hand side. Alternate static air normal. CO detector test, which is over here. You can see it's blinking green for the status. Turn that on to check the alert and status lights. And we're ready for engine start. Now, before we do this, I'm actually going to load the GPS for some basic routing information. Where can we get the Auto FPS add-on? Nel S24. It's on. If you just type it on Google, Auto FPS, you'll find it. I forgot what the website's called, but it's completely free to download, very easy to install. So before we turn the beacon on, we're just going to turn on the battery and flight avionics to load up the GPS. So let me just get rid of the checklist here. So if we just get rid of the control columns for ease of use. Oh, look what else I've got working, guys. Tobii Eye Tracker, it's now natively supported in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so I've got it all up and running for our VFR flights day, so it's great to see it working. And I can obviously zoom in and zoom out here if I reset my view. There we are, look. So really nice. So I can zoom in towards the instruments. Superb. But I'll turn it off for now. GitHub, that's it. YouTube updates changing names out here. Yeah, we saw that last stream. Everyone's YouTube handle names change, which is a bit annoying. I wonder what my number is. Right, battery on. Turn on the avionics master switch. Again, you can just hear all these sounds. Get the GPS powered up here. So I'm only going to use this to put some basic information into this stage. If I bring up the charts. So it's a VFR departure. We're going to fly sort of an RNAV SID here. It's a very nice day here. If we go to weather, no clouds, 20 degrees, QNH is 1018. So I've already set the QNH here before we started the stream. It's indicating the elevation, which is 99 feet. But basically, 24 right for departure, track on 236 at above 600 feet direct to Tonegg. So what I'm going to do is just put Tonegg in the GPS, then Ulmam, and then direct to YBUN. Now I'm planning on flying VFR, but we do with this GPS have the ability to load up the RMP approach. I'll leave that up to you to decide whether we fly that, but I am going to fly an NDB approach into Albany later for a bit of fun. Oh, it's pronounced Tonegg. Tonegg, thank you. Now I use Tobii Native with Microsoft Flight Sim since January. Oh really? I thought German Flight Sim had only been updated a month ago. I was watching Flight Sim Hanger's video, who had done an updated video, but yeah, it's working perfectly on my system now. Right, so we're going to go to flight plan, type in these waypoints, so it's just going to be Tonegg to start. JC7LG, 14 months as member, thank you. It is Josh, yes, I will recognise you, but not your new tag. Super glad to catch a stream this morning. Hope everyone is well. Been flying multi myself recently. Well, you're here to give us all the advice then, buddy. Thank you very much for your continued support and good luck with the rest of your training, sir. Very exciting. Right, so let's put in Tonegg. Tango, Oscar, November. This isn't very long-winded, but I remember having to do this when I was doing my CPL. I used to get this all loaded before. Hey, what's happened there? Uh-oh. God damn it. If only there was a quicker way of putting this in. I know you can load the flight plan into Flight Simulator 2024, and it does preload the FMS, or the GPS, but I thought we'd just do it manually today for realism. Right, Tonegg, or Tonegg, enter. Next waypoint, Ulmam. Oscar. Uh-oh. Oh, I need to get one of these for my setup now. An external one. That would be really cool. I'm sure you can. Mike. Echo. Mike. Ulmam. Plonker. There we are, and lastly we'll just put YBUN as well. Maybe someone will mod the EFIS for this, possibly. Oh yeah, so I could use the EFIS panel, possibly. YBUN as well. This is definitely vibes of my CPL. It's the last time I used a GNS 530 in the Warrior. For my IR, we weren't allowed to use GPS. They blanked this on my instrument rating, and then we could only use the VLOG and COM frequency. All you guys in your Diamond aircraft now. There we are, we've got something in the flight plan. Wonderful. So what I'll do now is for the engine start, turn off the avionics, but leave the battery on. Close that and bring up the interactive checklist. So beacon light can come on. Battery master's already on. Bus volts check, we have 23 volts minimum. We do. Obviously, whilst we've been sat here, we've been discharging the battery. So if I bring that up here and go to electrical, you see the battery. Where is it? Under engine? Well, 88% already. Wow, that's gone down. I swear that was 100% at the start. Annunciators test, so you turn it on, you get several lights on, just make sure they're all working. Left alternator and right alternator can come on. We'll just hide the tablet for a second. Scroll down here. Fuel quantities check. So, where is actually the fuel gauge on this? There we are. So you've got full tanks, 98 gallons a side. We've brimmed it up. Cabin heater is set. So now we need to just test the boost pump. So put it to low. Listen out for the sound. Yeah, that's good. Off. Right boost pump. Tested. So that's all good. And we're now ready for engine start cold. So right mixture fully rich. Got them both set to fully rich, that's fine. Right propeller high RPM, right throttle fully open. So what I want to do is show you what you're doing here. You're basically priming the engine for because it's cold start. So this doesn't have a conventional prime or individual prime here. So what we're going to do is right throttle fully open, and we're going to turn on the right boost pump for 2 to 3 seconds, and you can see fuel going into the... Oh, I can't actually move this tablet. If I slip right engine here, you can actually see fuel going into the cylinder. So watch this; it's really cool. And you've got to be careful with this, because if you put too much fuel, you'll flood the engine. So watch this: right pump. Look at the fuel going into the cylinder, and that helps with engine start with ignition. But obviously, if you leave that too on, you'll flood it with fuel. Very, very cool. Right boost pump off, and then we can crank the throttle half an inch open. And we're ready to start the engine. It doesn't always start first time, so especially when it's cold. So we'll have to see how we get on. It's very, very nice. Double tablets pro, I know. Right, let's now get rid of all these tablets here, and we'll leave this open when you watch the engine start. The sounds are amazing, but you can see the engine working as well. So clear prop. There we go. She's alive, and look at the cylinder temperature increase. It's so cool. The sounds are amazing. So engine's all working. I've demonstrated the engine start. Let's close this tablet here, and we'll continue with the checklist. So right starter engaged, right throttle 1 to 1,100 RPM. So just set the power to around 1100. There we are. Oil pressure's in the green, which it is. Start annunciator has extinguished. Low volts annunciator extinguished. Right alternator light has extinguished. Check the load, 25 amps within 2 minutes, which we have. Bus volts 28 volts checked. Instrumentation's checked. Lean mixture on the left engine now, so fully rich. Power. Fuel pump to high, just to get some fuel into the cylinder. And 1/4 inch starting engine number 1. Get rid of that tab. Clear prop. Well, I actually don't need to see clear prop if you've already got an engine running. Here we go. It's amazing. Very, very, very cool. Wait for the chuff of smoke when you start the engine, absolutely. And when we do a hot start, when the engine's warm later, it's a slightly different start procedure, but very, very nice beacon lights flashing. Right, let's continue with the checklist. So, we've done all that, checked oil pressures in the green. Ooh, what have I just done? What was that noise? I don't know what that was, but something went crunch. Close that window. Boost pumps are off, left starter with engaged, oil pressure, annunciators extinguished, bus volts are good, great. Engine start cold complete. There's a hot and flooded after start, so lights as required, so nav, avionics master can come on. We'll turn on the taxi light. Cabin air and heating as desired. We've got this little temperature gauge here, 25 degrees, that's lovely. Air conditioning mixture, lean for taxi. Oh, I didn't know you had to lean that for taxi. Okay, interesting. Parking brake release, brakes check, and then next will be the run-up once we get to the whole point. So let's get rid of that checks. Now, we're departing off runway 24 right, so what I'll do is just set the heading bug to 24 right, or just 24. There we are, set the course as well. We're not using conventional navigation for this, so it is set to nav GPS. Hopefully all the routing's saved. enter OK, enter OK. Go to flight plan, there it is. Flight plan as well. I'll press direct. I'm going to go direct to Tonegg. Activate. So you can see the HSI will align as soon as we're sort of got our GPS. It's a bit messy, but we'll just update it along our route today. Oh, I need to start my utility for the radio tuning panel as well, because I've got that working Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, so just bear with me. And then we'll taxi out. 25 degrees, damn, you like it hot. It is warm in here in Perth this evening, very, very nice. So, yeah, I've got this plug-in now for the radio tuning panel, which basically you have to force start to turn on the radio tuning panel in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, but it is now working. And now we're going to climb to 4,000 feet after takeoff, which is our initial stop altitude as well. So the instruments are all set. Let's now taxi out to runway 24 right, which is going to be straight out, left turn, and then we'll do our engine checks at Bravo 6. Hi Captain, your settings high or medium? A mixture of high and medium, Peter Mulberry. Richard Naylor, lean for taxi, idle RPMs to safe fouling the spark plug. Got you. It's been such a long time since I've flown GA, guys, so you have to bear with me on how to run a piston engine, but I have so much fun with doing this. Right, let's go to idle. And we're off. Perfect, so we'll make our way onto the taxiway and then make a left turn up here. Turn up Microsoft Flight Sim. Very nice. I love the fact it's so well modelled with regards to having to maintain the engines. You can't abuse these engines. You know, you can, as we pointed out, you know, you can foul the plugs, you can overheat the turbos, the engines, the EGT exceedances, and it damages the engine in real time. If you go here to, you press one of these buttons, you've got this sort of little tablet here. Can't remember how to get to it now, but you can see the condition of the engines as well. But you've got working weather radar too. You've got this all these different radio tuning panels available. So obviously NDB, but you've got this conventional RNAV navigation system, which I've never used before. Detailed engine instrumentation and gauges, and with all the black square aircraft, you get an incredibly detailed manual. I think it's nearly 200 pages showing you how to work all the systems. Are you in Jandakot? Yes, I am. Simbear UK, good morning to you. How's the plane? Fantastic. I enjoyed installing it and having a little play yesterday. I would have again streamed this last night, but as I mentioned, I was called off standby to go fly for real. And again, massive thanks to Steve, one of my members, for getting me all set up with this auto FPS, which has really both improved the graphics and performance. Yeah, this is a weird artifact I'm getting. I did not get this on my test sector. I just loaded it in today and I've got this weird thing going on my winglets. There is an ability to use a software development kit to get your reg on the external side. Oh, that's awesome, said Pep Cessna. You did your first solo here at Jandakot when you were 16. Very nice. Are all these trees here in real life? I feel like it's a little excessive. Hold on, wait. Guys, don't take the mic too much, but I've made a bit of a boo-boo. Might need to do a U-turn. It's alright. This is the allocated place to do your power checks, I've heard, in Jandakot. We'll do them here. Right, a little bit of differential braking. Let's crank it round to get the aircraft pointing into wind. This is all planned. There we are. Perfect. Yeah, this is Jandakot experts. This is where you do your power checks, isn't it? Yeah? Right, guys? Right? Right. Excellent. Parking brake is set. Let's do our power checks back to 1100 RPM. So again, I've got this fantastic checklist from JD, which I'm following for the stream today. If I just turn on... oh no, that's not plugged in today. So I'm following all of this here, highlighted things, completely free to download by JD, Jaydee. I use it for loads of aircraft. So again, it's based off real-world operating procedures from the... for the Baron 58, but again, following the included checklist is pretty much an exact copy of what to do there. So parking brake is set, test and consider enunciators, which we've done already. Remote compass, it's already slaved and aligned with the compass. Mixture now can go to fully rich. There we are, fully rich. Throttles to 1700 RPM, parking brake set. Can you hear those turbos spool up? Let's actually make my RPM increase a little bit higher than I wanted. Those turbo sounds amazing. Right, excise left propeller to 300 RPM, so get some oil into the governor. Perfect. I think you meant to do it 3 times, but we'll now do the right engine. There we are. Mags, left engine. Drop no more than 150. To the right. And again, you can see this all working real time. If I now do the right engine, you can see the mags changing. Didn't really notice much. Oh no, it helps if I... Slight drop, there you go, you could just hear in the background there. Excellent, so that's the mags checked. You then check all the instrument airs, green and no. Warning lights, it's in the green. Check all the alternators, so turn off the left alternator, make sure the right alternator picks up the increased load. And vice versa. And you then check the propeller heats, icing systems, windshield heats. You could do all of this all day, but we're not going to be using any windshield heat or de-icing. Check the autopilot's working, guys. You get the idea. We'll go back to 1000 to 2000 RPM again. I know you like ultimate realism, but I'd be here all day checking all those systems. Autopilot will use, but imagine it's checked. Elevator trim set for takeoff. Flight controls. Excellent. HSI source to nav 1. Flaps check full operation, but we're just going to go to takeoff, which is the approach button. Windows are closed. Altimeter set, departure and takeoff heading panel lights dim for takeoff, parking brake then release, and then we're ready for our before takeoff check. So mixture max power, all temperatures at least 24 degrees. So yeah, we're already up at 70. Boost pumps off, air conditioning off, landing lights we can now turn on. Transponder to out mode, which it already is. We'll squawk 2000. Weather radar on. So weather A. Put that. Oh yeah, there you go. Nav. There you can get the engine condition and recharge everything there. So let's go to on for the weather radar. That'll do. Perfect. It's a very old school weather radar system. Perfect. I'm sure you checked this all before starting the stream anyway. Yeah, John, I did. Now engines are running, nothing is on fire, so good enough. Absolutely. Here's what I prepared earlier. I think we're ready to go, guys. So we'll get rid of that. Let's now taxi to runway 24. Parking brake released. So again, I'm following this Tonegg departure. The Tonegg, it's just called Tonegg, isn't it? Tonegg 5 or Tonegg. Someone's already pointed out. Straight ahead, basically, to Tonegg. I don't know why the GPS has used a different runway to depart off, but once we're able, we'll just redirect to Tonegg again. Climb to 4,000 feet VFR. Yeah, but no cheating and fixing the engines. I'm not doing that, of course not. We're offline today. I'd be curious to see if actually multiplayer is working on my PEC. I've always had mixed results on Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. So if you're at home and you've got Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, feel free to log on here at Jandakot or our destination Bunbury. We're on the Northern Europe server. Right, clear takeoff runway 24 right. Surface wind is 220 at 13 knots according to live weather. The sounds are amazing. You wait until I start our takeoff roll. So I've got the real world checklist in front of me. And we're lined up. Look at the sim, absolutely spectacular. And of course, into the sun, you can hardly see anything. I'm just fixing my lineup, guys, which wasn't very good. Taxis really nicely, which is always a bit of an interesting game in taxiing in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Right then, so takeoff. We're going to set takeoff power. Which I'm just double checking here. It's full power, 39.5 inches. Release the brakes, rotate 81 knots, lift off 85, gear up, and flaps 115, and climb then at 130 once clean, and then we'll maintain that speed up to 4,000 feet. Right, Toga's in chat. I've got the ability to start a timer, which is on here. So select elapsed timer. How do I start it? That button has to be perfect. Here we go. On the brakes, listen to those turbos. Spooling up. Perfect, just under 39 inches. Great. Brakes released, off we go. Amazing. Look at the acceleration on this. 60 knots, 70, 81 rotate. We're airborne. Pause, ready, climb, gear up. Good, 100 knots, flaps up, 115. And trim. Beautiful. Accelerate to 130 knots. Climb power reducing to 36 inches. And 2,500 RPM. And pitching for 130. Absolutely spectacular. Sounds are awesome. Photogrammetry scenery on. Look at that, guys. A fantastic add-on. Half of the winglets flicking. Beautiful. So lower the nose to 130 knots. I'll check my T's and P's. Pressures are all in the green. We'll leave the cowl flaps open. Cinder head temperature's good. Fuel flow about 20 gallons an hour. RPM 2,535 inches. So we'll climb straight up to 4,000 feet. Maintain 130 knots, which is the best climb power speed. Sorry, best rate of climb to 2 engines. What are those cowl flap warning lights indicating there? Open, which it says on my checklist. Cowl flaps as required, fuel booster pumps as required, cabin heat as required. So I think I could probably close them now. I genuinely can't remember when you closed them on the Seneca. So cool. I'll follow the existing GPS routing on the HSI. We need to get some lighting on here soon as well. It's getting dark. Panel lighting is on. Ah, very nice. Who here's in Perth then this evening? There's your beautiful home city. Superb. Follow the pond south, that's how I used to depart Jandakot. Oh, very cool. Yeah, I'm probably going directly in Perth departures. The main international airport here. In controlled airspace, but never mind. I'm following the SID. Right, getting ready to level off at 4,000. So when we level off, we'll lower the nose. We'll set the cruise setting of 32 inches, 2,400 RPM, and then lean. So there we are, leveling off at 4,000 feet. Oh, it's a beautiful evening to go flying. Let the aircraft accelerate. Trim, 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 trim. Flies absolutely beautifully. Reducing to 32 inches. And reducing RPM to whatever I said before, 2,300. Hear me? There we are. Oops, I'm not watching where I'm going. Next waypoint. So I'll fly VFR, but we're essentially going to follow the coastline. What's that smoke? Yeah, there's a chimney down there, by the looks of it. Awesome. Back down to 4,000 feet. I need to keep the HSI aligned. So if I select flight plan there, the track I want is 183. So it doesn't automatically update the HSI when you turn. So there's 183. There we go. Now it's giving me, at this cruise setting, about 165 knots. It has higher thrust settings for different cruise settings. And then we'll lean the mixture. What a fantastic IFR aircraft, even though I'm flying VFR. Got the ability to update my heading book as well with my Thrustmaster yoke. Not yoke, throttle quadrant. Beautiful. Alright, so get her all trimmed. I'll get the automation in and then I'll lean the mixture. We are pretty much all in trim. So the autopilot controls are down here. He says autopilot out's already engaged. Yaw damper's on. Not yaw damper, flight director's on. If I select nav, it's slave to the GPS, so it's going to follow the HSI there. So it's making a bit of an abrupt turn, but it's updating then. Very nice. There's photogrammetry scenery. Level at 4,000 feet. Can't wait to fly the A36 Turbo TP turboprop conversion. Bobby Hoskins, is this the Bonanza, which has got a PT6 in it, basically? Oh, crazy sarcasm. Very confused when I woke up and saw the stream was live. I thought it was 9:30 Zulu, so 10:30. Oh, yeah, I'm afraid Zulu is now the same as local time UK. I remembered. I think last year or the year before I did forget. And I said, yes, I'll be streaming at this time, British summer time. But now, Zulu is the same. So I always publish my stream times in my local time. So it'll either be British summer or Zulu. It's now going to be Zulu for the next 6 months. Pepsi, are you going to Bustleton, Margaret River or Bunbury? We're inbound to Bunbury. So nicely routing along here towards Ulmham, the existing waypoint, then YBUN. So just a general consensus in chat. I can either fly VFR, join the circuit. I don't think there's any weather information for this airport on here. Oh, there is, 2108, so you can expect runway 25. So I can do an overhead join, fly downwind left hand, or I think it actually has an instrument approach. It does have an RMP approach, so I can fly an RMP approach via Uniform Yankee 28 Alpha or a VFR circuit. What would you guys like to see, just as a general consensus? Straight in off RMP 25 is an option. Right, we'll lean the mixture. How much do the winglets add to the performance in real life? I don't know. Probably some sort of fuel saving to be had, seeing they're fitted, but that's a lovely addition to the Baron. Just because it looks cool. Right, yes, we need to lean the mixture. So, where's the technique here I've got for leaning the mixture? So, mixture for best economy, 25 degrees Fahrenheit, rich of peak EGT. So, right now, props are beautifully in sync. I think you meant to turn that on anyway. But, check the fuel flow. We're doing about 17 gallons an hour. So we can definitely reduce that. So how do we get this to step? I think that's to step through each individual cylinder. Lean find. So if I just start leaning the mixture here, you'll see the temperatures start increasing. There we go. So they're still increasing. There we go. There, our peak EGT is here. So now I'm going to go 25 on the rich side. Perfect, that will do. And our fuel flow is now reduced to 15 gallons per hour per engine. Awesome. Dan Durrani says, if I'm not mistaken, the Allison is turbo normalised only, not overboosted. Yeah, that's a good question. So the Seneca 2, we had the turbocharged engines, and you could easily overboost them. Could I, if I've floored, absolutely, firewalled these power levels, can I overboost these turbochargers? You can see here the turbochargers at 72,700 RPM. But look at my engine conditions so far, 100%. You can see the electrical power all being distributed via the main bus and avionics bus. Cabin temperature is a refreshing 13 degrees Celsius. Probably should get a little bit of heat on it here, actually. That would be a little bit cold. Yeah, very nice add-on. Try it. Nope. Okay, cool. JC7LG. Some of the new engines have automatic wastegate control, so you can't overboost unless it's faulty. Yeah, I remember in the Seneca we had these large overboost lights on the glare shield, so when I first flew it I added a bit too much power. These big overboosts, the instructor was like, no, not that much. You've got to be very careful with those engines. But yeah, wastegate obviously designed to dump any over pressure. So no conventional navigation on this one, but today, oops. But I've really improved how the sim looks with this auto FPS. Looks fantastic VFR now. No blurry textures. So ETA 1034, so 20 minutes plus descent. Very nice. Hello Felix, saw you there in chat. Morning, nice day for fishing, ain't it? Well, if that's what you want to do today, very nice. See someone actually, Spurious Podge RMP approach. Okay, I might try look at the RMP. We've also got ability to do a VNAV descent as well. So you can see here all the individual temperatures for all the cylinders. Again, do excuse my lack of knowledge for operating this, but I think I'm quite happy with how I've leaned it. Everything's in the green anyway. Oil pressure, cylinder head temperatures, EGT. What's this? Is this 20-degree deviation? Is this meant to be? Is this rate of change of temperature? A little bit too much off the props. We should be at 2,300 RPM. So I'm just going to increase the RPM slightly. There we go. Manifold pressure 32 inches. So just add a little bit of power on the left engine actually, just so it's all equalised. I've got the prop sync on. There we go. Approaching VNAV profile. Interesting. Approaching Ulmum. And then we're going to make a slight right turn direct to Bunbury. 20 degrees per division. Oh, I need to look that one up in the manual. There we are. Next waypoint then. Tracking 188. About there. Perfect. This is my new favourite twin-engine aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Piston! Can't be old 7.3. So each ticker is 20 degrees, so 20 the first, 40 or 60. But what's it representing? Each one of these ticks. So obviously the gauge is up here high. Is that where's it meant to be? How do I control it? It's my question. HSI source, I think that's to do with this KNS81 FMS or autopilot. Malaysian Aviator, any plans for VOR to VOR nav flight using the ABS CDI? I'd rather use the HSI, but no is your answer. Oh yeah, let's turn on my track IR for a bit. There we are. Fantastic. Just reset my viewpoint. Perfect. Absolutely stunning. There's the sun setting. Actually, that's a point. It's going to be night time by the time we get to Albany on the second sector. Do they have? Does the runway have lighting? I don't know if it's a daytime only airport. Oh yeah, this is great. 10 degrees. I better actually get the heater on. Let me just turn off my head tracking for a second. So air conditioning, we want heater on, blower low. Oh no, we don't want air conditioning. So that should hopefully increase temperature. So there's some other cabin heat pull to increase. Oh look, you can see the heat coming in. Whoa, lovely hot air. Ah! There you go, Jim, your feet's going to get lovely and warm here. Oh, it's a combustion heater like we had in the Seneca as well. Literally burning fuel to get hot air. Cabin temperature slowly be increasing for you, Jim. I keep saying this, I always mention when I fly GA twins like this, oh, I'm going to take it on VATSIM on a busy VATSIM event, and then I never do. But this one I do want to do. I want to fly with some heavy jets and get in the mix. Any word on Bluebird 757 said NM Flyer Robin 5413? Nothing I've heard. I'm not involved with that development team, but I would love to get access to that 75 when it's available. That's coming to 2020 only, isn't it? If I remember rightly. Dan Durrani, if you click the headphone jack, enables noise cancelling and you use the scroll wheel to select the level of it. Where is the headphone jack in the Baron? Is it down here? You have to tell me where it's located. It's usually down here, isn't it? Where is the headphone jack? Ah, here it is. That's cool. And then you can do what to change the sound? Use the scroll wheel to select the level of it. Oh, I was only zooming on here, but very cool. Oh my gosh, it's louder now. I like how it changes the sound though. Very nice. Can we see the engine analysis in the tab? Absolutely spurious, Podge. You can see the beauty. Oh my god, it's 29 degrees in here now. That would be warm. Okay, let's just put the cabin heat in slightly. There we are. 30 degrees. Sorry, Jim. I'll turn off the blower. Heater off. I love how you can see that working. Target 31. So if I... Oh look, you can adjust this to set your target. Look, target 22, 19. There you go. So you can see the pistons moving very, very quickly. Engines at 100%. Temperatures are all okay. Ambient air coming in. Fuel from the tanks. You can do things like clean the cylinders, repair the starter. The starter overheats as well. Don't tell me how I found that out. Yeah, all classic black square stuff. Just turn the strobes off accidentally. It's a superb add-on. Jack, you've done this flight like 100 times. Very, very good. Fearless with some good news, by the way. 742 freighter testing going good. Waiting for deliveries and it's ready to review packaging. Sam will be one of the first to get it. Fearless, you legend. Very, very kind. Well, you know where I am on Discord, and we will showcase and promote that 747 because it is one of my favourite add-ons, as with other members of the community as well. Fantastic news. I'll still stick with my INS navigation. I do need to try your LTN GPS, but I just love INS. Steve, I love a noise cancelling switcher and playing. Great for listening to music or YouTube while flying. Oh, that's it, most importantly. Togo, okay, hello from Perth. Good day to you. Ah, superb. So we're actually best start setting up for this approach soon. Now, what we can do is, someone said here, we'll fly an RNAV approach. Aircraft's instrument capable and has the ability to fly RMP approaches. So here's the tablet. We're coming in from the southeast. What we'll do, we can actually make a turn towards Uniform Yankee 28 Alpha. So bear with me as I try to remember how to program this in GNS 530. But if I go to Procedures, select Approach, RNAV, there we are, Uniform Yankee 2 Echo Alpha, Enter, Load, and now I can just route direct to Uniform Yankee 28 Alpha. So if I press Direct, Uniform Yankee 28 Alpha, Enter, Activate, Flight Plan. There we are! I did a thing! Are you proud of my GNS flying? No. Amazing. And now I can use VNAV to tell it I want to be level at 28 India at 2,800 feet. So if I press VNAV, Uniform Yankee 28 India. You have to descend yourself, but it will give you your target rate of descent. So Uniform Yankee 2 Echo India. So I'll say 1 mile before target altitude. We wanted it to be 2,800 feet. And it was 2 Echo India, Enter. There you go. So begin descent, put your target vertical speed, so I want 500 feet per minute. Enter. So it's saying, yeah, start your descent 5 minutes 54 seconds, and that's the target for yes. I'm basically a pro. So what we'll do, we'll leave that on there, or VNAV, and then we can leave that on the flight plan. Superb. Bobby Hoskins talking about FPS. Yes, Steve is the individual who helped me get this set up. Yeah, I have mine set to this. I'll show you mine right now, live time. So mine's set to... Well, Steve will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if I've changed anything here, but it's working very nicely on my side. display capture. There we are. So mine's set to VFR. I leave it. I don't use the expert settings. Auto target FPS to 40, and you can see here that TLOD is increased to 300. Usually I'd have that fixed, and it just constantly adjusts things on the fly to ensure that you have stable FPS. It's really, really nice. And obviously use IFR for when you're flying at high altitude. Oh, look at that. We're going to have the sun right in our eyes on the approach, though. Well, I am on multiplayer, but there's no one flying in Western Australia this evening. I don't know if I have to turn on, like, something in the settings, but I've always found multiplayer to be a bit finicky in 2024. Spheres Podge loving the Fearless 742 as well. One of my favourite add-ons, even though it's a challenge to fly. A good challenge, absolutely. But it's very rewarding when you get it from A to B, that's for sure. Just the HSI here. I better actually finish setting up for this approach. So we've loaded it into the Garmin GNS. We've got course 246, so I can actually set that now, even though we're not currently routing on the course, but at least it's then set up for when we turn final. No conventional navigation. The minimum's then LNAV minima only. 520 feet, so we've got a radio altitude on this, so 467 we can set. Not taking into account the undulating terrain before the threshold. Oh, sorry, there's my arm. There we are. I also accidentally muted myself, but noticed it this time. Minimum zone 467. That just gives you a little light that comes on here, decision height, and on your artificial horizon when you're at minimums. And visibility 3,200 meters. Arm cap, yes. Descended 3 minutes. See, we've hardly used any fuel on this sector as well. Very nice. Here I am with my cap on backwards. What a prat. It's an old airplane now, the Baron. So, looking at descent procedures, load up GPS, comm, nav radios, approach briefing we've performed, minimums have set, fuel quantity's good, we don't have the pressurised cabin, cowl flaps will close for descent, which they already are, anti-ice as required, fuel booster pumps as required, cabin air heat pressurisation, altimeter set local QNH, actually that's buoyant, what's the altimeter setting here, it's 1019 at, so you could already see the autopilot adjusting for that. QNH 1019 is set, 18 degrees, and surface wind 2108 knots. And then we'll start our descent. Nothing in the checklist mentions a power setting for descent, so I don't know if it's mentioned here. Just close, monitor enriching the mixture, performance monitor, cinder head temperature 116 degrees minimum. Okay, so we need to keep an eye on this. Basically, we just want to make sure it doesn't drop into outside the green zone. Excellent. Second leg of the Bonanza? No, we're just going to stick with the Baron today because I've not actually test flown the Bonanza yet. And I don't have it installed, just the Baron. But yeah, the aircraft will be available very soon. You can get either the Bonanza or Baron standalone for $32.99, or a little bit extra, $44.99. You can get two aircraft, the Baron and the Bonanza. And I don't need to tell you how good Black Square are. They've been on the scene now for a few years. They are incredible. I say they, it's he, one-man team, providing these improvements. It's incredible. Oh look, have I passed my VNAV descent? Descent to target. Okay. Oh, it's already there. Right, so pull for vertical speed. Actually, we want to set the target altitude first, which we said was 2,800 feet to the platform. And then pull, set your target vertical speed. We said 500 feet per minute. And then engage. There we are. Whoa. Down we go, and I'll reduce power slightly. Very slowly. Usually let the aircraft speed up a bit, but we'll just take a little bit of power off so I don't accelerate too much. So reducing power, go to around 25 inches initially. Slowly start slowing down as well. So the initial notch of flaps need to be below 110 knots. It says here. That's the altitude warning horn. And I've armed 2,800 feet. So, oh, you know, I could set flaps to 15, approach flaps, as soon as I'm below 130 knots, sorry, 130. Yeah, the price is very, very good for the quality you're getting. Well, about to start an RMP approach. I was going to fly this VFR, but wow, look at that. Question is for Sector 2, do you want me to bring the time back a bit so it's daytime? I'll just fly live time into the night towards Albany. No bumps at all, very smooth. There we are, turning final. Oh no, not quite final. Uncle? Uniform Yankee 2 Echo India inbound. And minimum altitude on this is 2,800, which we're about to level off at. What's the flat range of this? You've got 2 flaps, approach and final. Does it give you the maximum speeds here? It doesn't actually. It'll be somewhere, there'll be a placard, won't there, for the maximum speeds. So the maximum speed is 152 knots and 122. So I think the target speeds are just given in the checklist, and they're just maximum speeds. Oh, cool. Yeah. Don't know why I said that. Oh dear. Well, this time yesterday I was in Spain. Well, 12 hours ago. I've got a lovely sector this afternoon, though. Great, so when we're level, we'll maintain altitude until 3.2 miles from Uniform Yankee to Echo Foxtrot. So I'm happy with the VNAV, don't need that anymore. What I want, though, is ground speeds. There we go, that's the one I want. And you've got your cumulative distance and distance from each waypoint. I love how it says initial fix, final approach fix, and missed approach point as well. So we are level at 2,800. Just keep the power setting as it is. I'm just going to increase the RPM and mixture to full. So mixture's full rich. RPM to maximum. Nice and slow. And we'll turn off prop sync, turning final. Oh, look at that, guys. Couldn't time this stream any better. Beautiful. Alright, we're on final. Matching the heading bug. So we need to start our descent 3.2 miles from 2 Echo Foxtrot. So 3.9. So what I'm going to do is set the minimums, which is 600 feet. Target rate of descent based on our current ground speed 150 knots will be about 800 feet per minute. So wait for 3.2 miles. There's 3.2. So VS engage. Ah! Oops. Helps if I set this up for 600 feet. Arm. And then 800 feet. And, oh, take a bit more power off it. Go to about 18 inches, get that speed below 152 knots. So we'll do some altitude distance cross checks as we go down. If I zoom in, we should hopefully see the runway. Not quite yet. No, I need to take a bit more power off. It's getting dark in here as well. Let me just turn up some lighting. If I can find out where the lighting controls are. It's already on. Have I got overhead panel? Oh, where's all the buttons? I'm trying to work out how to turn up the lighting. It's alright. Oh, I think it's a bit brighter now. Perfect. Right. I need to take even more power off. Uniform Yankee 2 Echo Foxtrot need to be at 1780. A little bit high. 900 feet per minute. There we are, below 152, not flops. That's going to help increase the drag. Oh, there's the runway. I've done a thing. There's no, because it's lateral. There's no vertical guidance on this approach. It's just essentially a VS approach. Adjusting vertical speed is required. So Uniform Yankee 28 Mike. We want to be at 1140. I mean, you can see the runway now, so I'm going to just adjust VS manually, getting a bit low. Alright, 120 knots. I want to hand fly now. I'm visual. Autopilot's disconnected. I'm going to turn off the flight directors. Alright. 120 knots. Elevation here is 53 feet, so I'll drop the gear at around 1,000. And then we'll go full flaps. Final approach speed is 100 at this gross weight. Correction, 91 knots, 95 knots. I need to get my gross weight to check it, hold on. Not that tablet. Too many tablets. Payload options, that's what I want. Pounds. Gross weight 5,200 pounds. So according to my table, that's 93 knots. Final approach speed. Right, there's 1,000 feet gear down. Full flap. That's the gear warning horn, reducing the speed to 93 knots. This is to those turbos. Winds from the south, look, it's pushed me downwind of the centre line. So, contrary to popular belief, I am flying this as I would a turbofan engine aircraft. So I am using power to control speed and pitch for rate of descent, which I know isn't always taught on GA or twins. But I think when I learnt on the Seneca, they wanted us to transition to jet, so we were using power for speed and pitch for rate of descent. Already past minimums, continue. See the light blinking on the RA and our shift horizon. And our final approach speed. Look at this approach. And it's so smooth, the sim now, with my settings on speed. We're doing about 93 and doing 100. Bit high, not a problem in a GA aircraft. Right, on speed. Start the fair around 20-30 feet. Go to idle. Round it out a bit high. Ooh, hold it off, hold it off. Very nice. Speedway Cup reverses. Bit of manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bunbury. Did you drop the gear? I remember the gear. Have I ever forgot the gear? Never. Very nice. Flaps going up. Awesome. A fantastic flight. Fantastic add-on. Sector 1 complete. Alright, so we'll vacate here to the right. And we'll just taxi to the eastern pad, something along those lines. We'll be departing off runway 25. Oh my goodness, who's that that's just spawned in? Go away. Hello dentist, 5806, hope you're doing well. That comes from the overlay, so the overlay at the top with all the flight information includes a rate, landing rate pop-up. I can't see that because it's on an overlay, so what was the landing rate? Can't remember. Well, I didn't see it. Right, let's clean up then. So flaps have already put up. Landing lights can come off. Leave the taxi light on. Panel light will leave on because it's getting dark. I'm going to go here to menu. How do I clear the flight plan? Is it on this one? There we are. Delete flight plan for the next sector. Yes, there we go. That's cleared. Transponder to off. Excellent. I'll start the APU. But yeah, the engine start will be interesting on the next sector because the engine will be warm. That's an awesome add-on. Refuel, and again, we won't need to refuel. We started with full tanks. We pretty much have it there, so I won't be touching the Bowser. Just Jim and I today, but we're down to 346 litres a side, or 91 gallons. Alright, I can actually get this set up for the next sector. Altitude, we're cruising at 9,000 feet on the way over to Albany. We'll be flying an NDB approach later. Cabin temperature 23, everyone's happy. Idle, you see the alternators, you get a bit of a discharge, low voltage as well. Amazing add-on. I'll stick with live time, I think. Awesome. Slightly longer flight time on the next sector. Just unload my flight plan here. Next one will be to YABA. That's the ICAO code. Just seeing what the flight time is. Can't remember on the next sector. It is 48 minutes. We'll just park here. Awesome. Swing it around. That'll do. Parking brake set. Turn this jazzy music down. Right, let's do the shutdown checklist. Just get these engines up so I don't get any fouling. Alright, landing checklist was completed. Autopilot were disconnected. Post-flight, so after landing, cowl flaps, oops, forgot to open those up actually, so the engine's getting nice and toasty, no airflow over them. Looks like, yeah, you can see the cylinder head, temperatures went up. Lights as required, so strobes can come off, flood panel, taxi lights, nav. Ice restrictions off, cabin and the heat as desired, so we'll turn off the cabin heater now. Shut down, so parking brake set, avionics switch to off. Throttle fully closed. Propellers max RPM, mixture to cut off. Very nice. Mags off. Alternators off. Battery master off. Parking brake release and put the chocks in, but we'll leave the battery off as well because it will discharge. Because I'm going to have a quick break. We'll go grab a coffee from the cafeteria here before we do our next sector to Albany. But there we are, first sector complete in the Barren, and I have so much fun following real world SOPs on an aircraft like this. It brings it all back to me when I did my instrument rating. But yeah, what's the time now? It's 10:42. I'll take 10 minutes, come back at about 10 to 11 Zulu, and we'll then fly the next sector to Albany. Richard and Elliot had to step away a while. Where are we now? We've just touched down in Bunbury. We're now doing the next sector to Albany in 10 minutes, so I've already loaded up the next flight plan. There we are. We've just come from Perth, and in Western Australia. Live time, live weather. What a fantastic evening in Australia we're having, obviously, in the morning here as well. Add-on isn't available right now. It should be next week, I believe. It's coming. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in about 10 minutes or so. See you shortly. Well, thank you very much, guys, for the intermission. Here we are in Bunbury, and all set up for sector number 2. Oops, I haven't actually updated Fly Live, not a pro streamer here. Let me just do that now. Where we're going, YBUN is the code to Uniform Bravo Alpha Hotel, Sabridge. Perfect, that's updated. So yeah, sector number 2. No airspace here, really. This is all uncontrolled. No airways either. So we're going to fly IFR, but we're going to have to depart and just head southeast direct to Arumi and then YABA. But the plan is, I don't think this airport has any weather information, no. So we'll either fly an NDB approach straight in off runway 14, or the procedural NDB over the beacon for runway 32, which would probably be the more fun one. But if anyone's got any localised wind information for Albany, but goodness knows what Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is going to do with the winds there. But we have probably been winds coming in from the west, hasn't it? So it's probably going to be runway 32. So yeah, that's what we'll do. So let's jump it into the cockpit. Again, we'll just power up the aeroplane. I'll just turn the music down here again slightly. There we are. So if you look here at the tablet, you'll find that I haven't touched anything. The engine's cooled down a little bit as well. Battery's fully charged. You can see that it's still a little bit of residual heat from the previous sector, but we'll treat it with regards to the engine start as a sort of already a warm engine. Again, just like before, we'll load up the GPS before engine starts. We're not sat there wasting fuel, so we'll just pop on the battery and avionics. You can hear it all powering up. We'll bring up Navigraph here as well, so there's literally only 2 waypoints to put in on the GPS there. Are you talking about my midlife crisis pilot with the hat? Yes, I know the charts are still up, but no, it's my alter ego, the World of Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Perfect, so let's get the FMS loaded up here. We'll get the nav lights on too. Beacon lights already on to start the engine, so that's absolutely fine. Perfect. Takes a while to boot up. There's the waypoints I need to load in, so that's all okay. Okay, enter okay. So flight plan, I've already cleared it. First waypoint's going to be literally Arumi. Let's get into a bit better position here. It's a shame you can't actually type. Is there a way of activating it so you can use your keyboard to type in these waypoints? That would be a great help, wouldn't it? I bet there is. Ah! Oh, sorry guys. Flight plan. Did that earlier, didn't I? Alpha. Rotate Romeo. Uniform. Mike. I just saw it there. India. Enter. And then we're going to go direct to YABA. Actually, we're not going to go direct to YABA. We're going to go direct to the NDB, Alpha Bravo Alpha. Alpha Bravo. That doesn't take long to type in. Alpha. Enter. So we've got a VOR or an NDB. It's going to be NDB Australia, isn't it? Yeah. NDB Australia. Enter. Perfect. So that's all in. GPS is routed. We'll just route direct to Arumi now. Enter. Activate. There we are. So the HSI will be aligned as a straight line going to that waypoint as well. You use a radio frequency to turn them on, as I recall. You have a little white rectangle. What? So I can actually type it in manually. Oh, you'll have to show me, guys, en route. Right, turn off the avionics so the engine start. So again, for those of you who are interested in all the elements of the engine start, we'll keep that tablet up so we can see how the engine runs. And this will be an engine start hot. So right mixture's cut off, right propeller max RPM, right boost pump high for 10 to 20 seconds. Okay. So because I don't have the throttle up, you see there's no fuel going into the cylinder here. I don't know why you have to do that for high for that period of time. Click on that small white rectangle at the right hand side of the text entry field to enable the keyboard. No way. Well, that would have saved us all a lot of time. Right. Pump's been on for the 10 to 20 seconds. Right boost pump off. Mixture fully rich. Right throttle fully open. So again, you can see here when we put the boost pump on for 2 to 3 seconds. Don't do this too long, 'cause you'll flood the engine. So this is essentially priming it. So get rid of that. Pump on for high for 2 to 3 seconds. Why is there no fuel going on the cylinder? What have I forgotten to do? Oh, you prat. There we go. So there's fuel. A bit more. There you go. Look, you can see the fuel in the cylinder there. Perfect. Mixture rich. Yeah, I was just testing your well spotted. And then we can start the engine. Right, let's see what happens here. Also, the battery gets massively drained by doing this. Clear prop. Come on. Starter motor's getting hot. Oh dear. Right, we'll try again. Have I got any fuel in there? I don't want to... This did happen on my test sector, but it worked when I put a bit more fuel in. Oh no! Oh, looks like I'm flooding the engine. Let's try again. Throttle is max. Just testing you. There we are. All good. Engine's fine, I think. Ignore the throttle. Right, good start, engine number 2. All pressure's in the green. Cylinder head temperature's increasing. Fuel flow, RPM, just add a little bit of power. This is a professional at work. Right. I better just follow that checklist again for the other start. Right, check the alternators. All good. Left mixture cut off. Left propeller high RPM. Boost pump 10 seconds. We're past the test, guys. Engine's not blown up. That's the main thing. Alright, left boost pump off, lean mixture fully rich, throttle fully open. Now, I did this step. You can again just go to the left engine, look, to see me get some fuel into the cylinder. So priming the engine, there's the fuel coming in. There we are, there's fuel in the cylinder. Obviously you could completely flood it. And now, don't forget to reduce the power and start the engine. Alright, starting engine number 1. Clear prop. There she goes. Oil going into the governor, very cool. Alright, look how much battery I used in that process. So cool. Alright, pressure's in the green. Oil temperature is rising. Cylinder head temperature rising on 2 and will on 1. Fuel flow okay. RPM 1100. We set the altimeter 1019er still. Perfect. Alternators on. Avionics master. Get some lighting on in here. Panel. Flood. Whoa! Wow. Not sure if I like that or not, but that is cool. Can you alter the brightness of that floodlight? Wait, it's one of my cowl flaps not open. Ah, yes, very good. Open all cowl flaps. A professional one. You don't get that many starts out of the battery. No, it was getting drained for sure. Right, okay, so post-engine checks are complete. Next it's the run-up. I have to start though first. Lights as required, weather radar's off. We'll put that to standby. Enter OK. Enter OK. Flight plan routing's in. Waiting for GPS position. I never turned that off, but we'll put it to standby. Transponder on. Mixture lean for taxi. Brakes check, and then the next will be the run up again. Great, so we shall have a shorter taxi out. Runway 25, just basically straight ahead, and we'll just hold there at the hold point. 2000 transponders on. Perfect. Floodlights look radioactive. I know you'd keep a reptile quite happy underneath there. Parking brake released. Taxi light on. Off we go. Thank you. Just got a cup of tea. Oh, I'm very lucky. Thank you. Perfect. There's the whole point. No one here, so we'll just block the taxiway. There's a light control panel on the right near the FO yoke. Thank you, NZ255. Look at that momentarily. Oh, look at that. I love the nose wheel moving. Look, it's obviously attached to the light on the nose wheel. The taxi light's moving as you move the nose wheel. Very cool. Right, there's the whole point. Parking brake set. Ah, yes, these are the light commands. So, I mean, that doesn't seem to do anything. Ah, there we are. The brightness of that floodlight. Perfect. Just turn that down a bit. The others don't seem to be doing too much, but no, I'm happy I've turned down the main light. Right, let's do the run-up checks again. Again, we won't do the full autopilot, de-icing boots, don't anticipate the use of all of that today, and we've already checked the autopilot. So, mixture down to fully rich. Remote compass slaved, throttle to 1700 RPM. Yeah, those turbos spool up. Well, that's a bit louder. Ah, close that window. Ah, silence. Yeah, I can hear that turbo spinning in the background. Very nice. A little bit too much power. Alright, throttle 1700, exercise the propellers. I wonder if you can see... Let's do the left engine. Yeah, there's no change there. Battery's already almost fully charged. You can see the voltage change as well as the engine power changes. That's superb. Right, props check, mags. Right engine, dropping RPM no more than 150. Right mag, drop at 150. Left engine, drop at 150. Right engine checked. Change the alternator. Make sure the other alternator picks up the load. Which it does. You can see the bus faults change. Propeller heat check. Not going to be using de-icing today. Windshield heat, yeah. So you check all the icing systems. You can see if I turn that on, make sure you've got the enunciations. Basically, you've got boots on the leading edge as well here for de-icing. Check the ammeter changes. Pitot heat again. You can turn that on. Which I didn't use on the first sector. Didn't need to. Where is the pitot heat? There you go. You can see the load increase. Fuel vent heats, ammeters checked, heating switches off, check the autopilot system, and there we are, we can reduce to idle, check the autopilot's done, flight controls free and correct, and we'll do that. They're quite important. Scons88, thank you very much for the 4 months as a member, as I do my flight control check, there we are. Appreciate the support, hope you're doing very well. Departure heading is set, QNH as well, we're ready for takeoff. Right then. I've got my noise cancelling on with the headphones. No, they're off, look. Oh, that's too quiet. There we are. Right, parking brake released. Lovely day here in Western Australia. A lovely night. The sun is now set. Turn on the landing lights, which are incredibly bright. Strobes as well. Beautiful. They've definitely improved the night lighting in Microsoft Flight Sim, haven't they? Alrighty, we're lined up. So we'll climb straight ahead to 1,000 feet before making a left turn en route. Togs in chat. Let's go to Albany. Oh yeah, I know I forgot to do timing. So 39 inches. Turbochargers alive. Alright, power set. Temperature's all in the green. Let's go. Right rudder coming in. Airspeed alive. Beautiful. Look at it go. 91 knots rotate. And we're airborne. Positive climb, gear up. Forgot to extend flaps. We did a flaps at takeoff. Yep. Beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. Very nice. Word of a day. Beautiful. 130 knots, lowering the nose. 32 inches. 36, sorry. There's 130 and 1,000 feet. Let's make a left turn en route. RPM reducing to 2,400. It's got very quiet, the sim. Just might have to turn it up a little bit in the background. It's at maximum. And we'll get those cowl flaps closed. Superb. Superb. Track to our first waypoint is 134. Perfect. We'll make a left turn to intercept back the original track. Trimmed for 130 knots, climbing up to 9,000 feet. Actually, what's the transition altitude here? Is it flight level? That's a lovely intercept heading, 30 degrees. As we climb, temperature's all good, cylinders in the green. All temperature, all pressures. Flies so nicely. Oh, spectacular, look at that. Desktop sims are just... No word of a lie, I'd rather be on standby and fly with you guys all day in this than go flying a 7.3. What a lovely position to be in to say that. This is awesome. Wow. What a beautiful evening in Western Australia. Aircraft's beautifully trimmed. Ring them and say that. Oops, put my weather radar on. Not that I need it today. 4,000 feet already. HSI's coming alive. Very versatile aeroplane. VFR, IFR, it's got everything you need. Yeah, I'm making a turn en route. Approaching target altitude, VNAV profile, message cleared. I have to say, the default avionics suite, I know you can get better modelled ones, but it's okay, it works really well. And I guess this is all updated with the nav database in Microsoft Flight Simulator for when you do it. I'll turn off my landing lights as well. Just having a look here, the transition altitude is 10,000 feet, so we'll maintain 9,000 feet on the QNH here. John, buy a Steam Deck and flight sim in the cruise at work, pilotception. That just looks so good. And when you get aircraft handled this well as well, I can see why it's such a sellout, this simulator. It's amazing. And this aircraft flies really nicely. You know, I've been very critical of Microsoft Flight Sim and how aircraft handle, but it feels great. I don't know. It just feels really nice. Like in that landing flare, it didn't feel sort of tabular based. You know, it didn't feel like I was flying. That's good to know. Cheaper Loop says, Sobo added proper inertia in sim update. First plane's applied to Cessna 172 and extra 330. Can you do a video stream on that? It's realistic. That would be huge for 2024, but it feels nice. It feels nice. Don't need to do it. A YouTube video. It feels great. So we'll do the cruise one, and we get to cruise 32 inches, 2,400 lean. The mixture should give us 190 to 240 knots. Great performance. There's no nav aids here to tune at all. It's all Western Australia backcountry, this. But we need to find out whether Albany has night lighting. I hope it does. Otherwise, it would be an interesting approach. See the ETA change all the time. So it's changing very quickly. One to go. Main the mixture actually slightly off as we climb. 1800 feet per minute still. It's wonderful. Alright, get ready to level off. Get back on track as well. Okay, there's 9,000 feet. Lower the nose a little bit too early. Let the aircraft accelerate. We actually do have a max power cruise setting of 33 inches, but we'll go 32, which is the cruise one. Oops, don't forget to trim those down as you level off. I'll let the aircraft accelerate, and we'll go 32 inches. Ooh. Trimmed a little bit too far, nose down. Alright, 32 inches set, RPM 2,300 set. Alright, let's get the autopilot in. Nav, it's on HSI, right turn, maintaining 9,000 feet. Turn off the landing lights here. Still got the taxi light on. Well, it's actually no point because it's in the gear, isn't it? Fantastic. Alright, well, let her get settled in the cruise. ETA, hey, 1837 Zulu. That's not right. I'm definitely live time, live weather, aren't I? Yeah. Don't know why the ETA's so wrong. Have I got the wrong code in? Yankee Bravo Alpha Hotel. Yeah, that's correct. I don't know why the overlay's got the ETA so wrong. Let me just check it here. Ah. It's got a different airport in. Yankee Bravo Alpha Hotel. That's not what I'm looking for. Baholinia Downs, is that correct? Oh, did I not activate altitude? Oh, crikey, well spotted. I thought it was on by default. There we are. Altitude's engaged. Thank you. Well, I don't know why the overlay's not working. It says it's recognising the airport, but it says it's Bohunia Downs Airport. Okay. And it's saying it's 1,490 nautical miles away, which is definitely not right. So I'm going to try to turn the overlay off here, because it doesn't. I don't think it has the airport in the database. Oh well, there we go. Boom, off. Oh, we're doing a very good job maintaining 9,000 feet. I see. Let's engage vertical speed. Engage. Altitude's armed. There we are. So it shall level off at 9,000. Alright, well, we can use the GPS for ETA. So next waypoint will be 26 minutes. So probably a flight time of around 35 left. And you have to remind me, anyone from Perth here, what's this area we're crossing? Is this all savannah or very sparsely populated? There's a township here, Bridgetown. But what would I see here? You know, deadly black widow spiders, crocodiles, and all sorts. I don't know what's down there. Cabin's kind of chilly. Oh yeah, is it 4 degrees? Yeah, Jim was overheating. I'm fixing it. Heater low, blower low. And I can sort of cheat here by using the tablet and setting a target temperature. And then we'll leave the mixture. Cabin, target's 12. So what I can do is, it's very finicky, but you can just move the tablet here and pull out the cabin heat, pull to increase. There you go, I've set it to a target of 22, perfect. Ah, it was very sensitive. There we are. 22 degrees, perfect. Some combustion heat coming in as we speak. And then let's lean that mixture. Because right now fuel flow is about just over 18 gallons an hour. So again, we'll lean the mixture till peak EGT. There we are. So EGT's increasing. Oh, cycle to oil. No, I don't want that. Cold. I want the temperatures to send. Oh no, you can see them. There we are. They're starting to decrease now. Go rich. How do I get the little display? Lean find. Right, I'm just going to go back to peak EGT. Yeah, okay, perfect. So, leaning the mixture. This is so cool. And now you can see down the leads that the temperatures are increasing. So let's go the other way. 25 degrees, it said the other side. There we are. So I've leaned my mixture. Fuel flow's gone down to around just over 16.5. It did come up last time peak, didn't it? There we are. Awesome. Well, let's carry on. Let's have a catch up here in chat. Crab1510, hi Captain. Of the 7 ATPL subjects, which was your best and which were your worst? Meteorology, I think, was my worst. Did pass. I did get over 90% on all of my grades, but I think on the practice exam we did 3 months before, I sort of got mid-80s, low 80s, and I was one of my weaker topics. It's very interesting. Gen Nav I was strong with all the paper charts. Yeah, I did okay. It was a lot of hard work, but I can't remember all of the subjects. Systems was fine, communications was easy, but I think MET was the one I really had to work for. Principles of flight, sort of the basic physics, that's always been a weaker topic of mine. Pete, I'm just seeing your message. Had to go shopping or become divorced. I love that. Oh dear, welcome back. Tube lubes, I have to. You fly the default Baron all the time, so you have to buy this. I mean, you've seen. I hopefully demonstrated what a fine add-on this is, and do bear with me. You do guys realise I don't fly twin-engine piston or any piston-engine aircraft these days. It's been 15 years, so I have a very sort of jagged memory of how to operate it. But I feel I've done everything as realistically as possible. I haven't blown anything up. The tablet shows the engine conditions at 100% all day. See which of the cylinders are hotter. That's really cool. So I'm pleased with how I've operated it so far, and I've had a good landing already. Oh yes, transponder should be on out. Absolutely, yes. Otherwise, we're not squawking Charlie. There we are. I don't know how to use this KNS81 autopilot as well. I would like to actually get rid of that panel, but it's they're beeping at me regarding RNAV waypoints, but I think it's sort of a precursor to Garmin GNS. But as I mentioned, there's a whole avionics suite you can download separately or select the different panels. KLN is the modern touchscreen devices. I'm sure the Baron is still built, isn't it, with a glass cockpit option as well, I think. Lots of kangaroos down there. Pete said supposedly watching the captain stream in the morning and watching sport in the afternoon was deemed unreasonable. Very good. Rich said I spent nearly a year in the Margaret River area in my 20s, surfing almost every day, working catering. Great memories. Very cool. Tube Lib says 200 feet tall trees, so Microsoft Flight Sim would have had them at 400 feet, right? Yes, they do love trees in Microsoft Flight Sim, don't they? Steve quoting me, I haven't blown anything up. Yep, always a positive. Brett Stewart, did you have the right arrival code? I'll try one more time with the overlay. You'll hear Windows ping at me in the background because it doesn't like opening the app. There we are. Yeah, have I got this right? Yankee Alpha Bravo Alpha. Just try it one more time. Or maybe I had something different. But we'll soon find out. YABA. I think I had something different. It's come up correctly now. Right, let me just update this then. Reg coming in, November... What are we? November 7733 kilo. Okay, right. That's better. Perfect. Flight information there above you. Yabba dabba doo. There we go. Cabin temperature increasing 15 degrees. Happy days. Out. See strobes flashing away there. Beautiful, beautiful sunset. Very sparse down here. However, we've gone past a small township on the left. That's Boyup Brook. We've just passed on the left-hand side. So I'll turn on my head tracking for a second. Can't see it 'cause there's a big fat Lycoming engine in the way, but there we are down there somewhere. Look at the reflection of the glass. Oh, so cool. Is this Sim Update 4? No, Sim Update 3. I tried to keep away from betas. Awesome. So I am on standby next couple of days. I already haven't survived one of my standbys this week. Called off standby yesterday. However, I do envisage flying the Fokker F28. Just flight, obviously, I've been very busy the last few weeks doing lots of updates. Obviously, this is coming soon, but they have had a significant update for the F28, and it's an awesome aeroplane. So I might jump into that Tuesday, maybe. I've got a few things I need to do around the house tomorrow if I don't get called. Crab says, are you keen on trying the AnyBuilds A340, even though their strategy seems to be first to market above anything else? At the moment, no. I've heard that the A340 is a bit of a performance hog. I think it's okay. But I'll think about it. F28 I'd like to try again. But yeah, that's what I've got sort of planned this week. For mostly members here in chat as well, I've contacted for Kazakhstan for the group flight in 2 weeks. That's in Russia, so I have contacted them asking for ATC. Did that last night. I'll let you know if I hear anything. Just noticed something here. What are these low thrust lights? What's that in relation to? Interesting. Set course to 134, which we have. Approaching target altitude, which we have as well. So cylinder head temperatures are all okay. Temperatures in the green for the oil. Pressure's good. Fuel flow's fine. Still showing almost full on the gauges. You always slightly overread. We've got 32 inches set. Prop sync is actually should be on. There we go. Oh, the A340 is well optimised. Okay. Dangery if you lose the engine, low thrust illuminates. Very good. Good situation awareness for that. John Padfield, skipper's brave flying Airbus. No. Well, another aircraft I've purchased and haven't flown, I mentioned last few times, is the Airbus A300 Premium, the cargo freighter. I purchased it and never actually flew because it was an upgrade for 2024. It was about 20 quid. But again, now I'm up to speed with the Baron. I'd like to fly this on VATSIM as well. It's not a single person on Microsoft Flight Sim Online, but I think I need to... Don't you have to change something in the settings in 2024 for multiplayer, like show aircraft or something? I used to do those large sort of community flights in 2020, they were good fun. Also FPS working a charm. Hitting my target FPS of 45. And hopefully it's all nice and smooth for you. I do actually stream at 60 FPS, but there's no point in setting a higher target. Now approaching halfway, so I'm going to ETO 1150, 25 minutes, so with the descent and NDB probably touching down about 30. She will go out of the VS mode. There we are, 9,000 feet. Lovely and smooth as it would be at this time of day in this sort of weather. Awesome. Keep my heading bug updated. It's nice that on the Thrustmaster throttle quadrant, I know they're 737 or 787 thrust levers, but you can update the heading and altitude and speed bugs on it. It's very nice. Steve says multiplayer is still somewhat flaky in 2024, so a friend told me who uses it, but again, some think they are hard at work on, as it's so important to many. Yeah, I mean, we've tried doing a few group flights on streams, or certainly when I flew to Lancaster, we did see people, but I've had it where people can see me, but I can't see them. I mean, that was also true in 2020, but it'd be great if we could do it and have loads of people join in. My plan for my charity stream flight, 100,000 subscribers, is to be online. I'd love it if people could join in along the route. I was actually, you know what aircraft I was thinking about flying, which would be a challenge, no autopilot, is the Ford Tri-Motor. That's a sort of mainstay of Microsoft Flight Sim. That's got good range, no autopilot. Flying that over a large body of desert or water for 8 hours, with a stop off maybe for some fuel. That'd be awesome. But I think, you know, I might upload some more shorts. I think I'll be hard pushed to get to 100,000 subs by the end of the year. Growth is slow. I don't have the time to upload a video every day. But we'll see what I can do. I just love streaming, chilling out with you guys. This is an awesome add-on. Sorry I'm to use GPS as well, but literally look here, if I go to IFR low, there's not a single nav aid between here and our destination, apart from the ADF. It's got DB as well, but we'll fly the NDB approach today. Slane Maeve says, so does the Spirit of St. Louis, who needs a windscreen? That's true. Now that would be a challenge, but I couldn't replicate the transatlantic flight because that's 20 odd hours. But yeah, it's not cool. Tri-motor's cooler. And yeah, it's got a little periscope, hasn't it? I mean, that aeroplane was a flying fuel tank. Essentially. Oh, this makes me want to fly a piston engine aircraft again. Yeah, 33.5 hours of dead reckoning, absolutely. Stevie, yeah, can you imagine flying that so far in those days? I know. And obviously, reliability back then was nowhere near as good as it is today. Yeah, these aircraft would have engine issues all the time. I mean, that's coming up to 100 years ago. Was it? When was the... Was it the 30s? When I was flying across the Atlantic. Charles Lindenberg, that was it. I want someone to make a Vickers Vimy. Actually, there's a B17 out now as well, isn't there? Don't know if that's any good. John, that's very cheeky. I think you should follow your wife's advice and not watch my stream. Let's be honest. We'll end up there. Where we want to be with Dead Reckoning. Hey, it's all good. Look at that sun. Well, we can't see the sun, but the sun's setting. Oh, there's the moon. Did I leave the cow? No, they're closing, didn't they? Awesome. So here's a pressurized version. Well, there's 3 aircraft available when you get the Baron. So we're in the turbocharged variant, but the airframes included is just the normally aspirated B58, so obviously the manifold pressure will drop off, nothing you can do about it as you climb. Here we can just obviously keep increasing power with the turbochargers. We're in the 1984 Baron turbocharger, and then there's a turbocharged pressurized version as well. So yeah, I love the old school behaviour of this. Just looking at the blurb here from Just Flight. Most technically advanced aircraft simulations, Microsoft Flight Sim. They're amazing. So detailed, and you've got to treat them with respect. And it's a one-man team that does this. It's incredible. But you've got all the radio nav age for all the different eras. We've got the GPS, but you've got this Benedict's KN and SR nav system, which you can use to fly and operate, link it to the autopilot. And then you've got the modern radio equipment as well. 165 page manual. Unbelievable. It goes into incredible detail as well. Crap, how much of an interest do you have in World War II aviation? Have you seen Masters of the Air? I have watched a couple of episodes on Apple. I don't have Apple TV anymore, but it is a series I'd like to watch. I know it was a bit dramatised. But one of my favourite films of all time is Memphis Belle from the 90s with Samwise Gamgee. He's in it. The actor's, I can't remember his first name. Anyway, yeah, amazing film. So yeah, I have a sort of degree of interest. Yeah, I'm not sort of reading all the books and whatnot, but growing up I was very much following World War II aviation, had all the model kits. Used to watch Discovery Flight growing up as well. Well, we didn't have it at home, my uncle had Sky, but I love watching Discovery Flight. I remember the episode with can't remember, Brian, what's his name? Oh, the singer, I can't remember the rock band. He did an episode and he flew the Airbus. It's really funny. That's it, not Brian, Bruce. Yes, I do remember that episode. He flew an Airbus, didn't he? Brian Bruce. We got the first letter right. Right, better start doing some work anyway. Tube Loop's very good. I'll, as soon as Sim Update 4 is public, we'll jump into the iFly or PMDG. Oh, well, PMDG's not available yet in 2020, but we'll see how the 7.3 handles. Right then, so we're going to apply an NDB approach today. Bring up the charts. So our routing is actually after Uri, we're going to take us straight to the NDB for runway 32, and this is a very good track. We can go straight outbound, so we don't need to enter the hold. We can actually tune the NDB 240 now. There we are, 240 active. We're still out of range, but I think the green needle's the ADF. Oh no, there we are. We're actually picking up the ADF already. So because we're quite far away, it can't really be used for navigation yet, but it's picking up the signal loosely. There is DME associated with this approach on 1097, so we can tune that on nav 1 and nav 2. 1097. Using the radio tuning panel here, guys. 1097 on nav 1 and nav 2. 1097. Good. So we will have DME. Oh, it's already here. Brilliant. So 56 miles, 17 minutes away. So first track. This is an NDB approach, so it's not slave to the HSI. The only way we can fly this is using the RMI and the tail of the needle. So when we fly out over the beacon, we're going to use heading select, or we could probably select the approach in the GPS, but we're going to do old school. Put the tail of the needle on 152. And fly outbound for a Cat AB aircraft of 140 until 8 DME. We can descend to 3,300 feet. So again, we can use VNAV here to help us along. I mean, we could probably select the approach, can't we? Yeah. Oh no, that's not it. That's back where we departed from. Well, screw it. We're going to do it old school. So, what was I going to do? Yeah, VNAV. So we can tell this to be at 3,300 feet. At the beacon, and we'll fly very low and slow approach. Target rate of descent, probably do it a little higher now. We'll do 1,000 feet per minute, why not? 1 mile before Alpha Bravo Alpha. Target rate of descent 1,000 feet per minute. We'll let the aircraft speed up during that profile. There we are, so descent's 9 minutes from now. So we're told VNAV, that's what we'd like to do. Yeah, I don't think it's got an airport coded in. It's going to recognise I'm flying into the airport. But it doesn't matter, we're going to fly old school. So outbound 240 from Albany, Cat AB 140 track. So put the tail of needle on 140. I'm going to get the HSI lined up with the final approach course just for situation awareness of 308, which I'm going to set now. Actually using it really to navigate. 308, 8 miles left turn inbound on the beacon, so we're going to put the head of the needle on 308. Stepping down from the NDB 3300, 8 miles, we can go down to 2690 on the outbound leg. So we'll go to 2700, and then once we're at 8 miles, we'll continue to descend. The minimums for this approach, actual aero QNH will have, so we'll set that rounded up to 720. Obviously not to 73, so I'll just set 680, which is 463 on the radio altimeter. About there. 3,100 meters, but we have no weather information in Microsoft Flight Simulator for this airport, so we'll just follow that there. MSA no issue for 3,300, which is the platform altitude, so 4,000 feet will keep us terrain safe. And landing on the runway then, so it's lovely and long here, look, 1,800 meters. Could land a 7.3 in there, no problem. Narrow, 30 meters for a 7.3 again, we'll vacate at Alpha, taxi onto the apron. There we are, so we've got it all set up, we know what we need to do. I did an NDB approach on my IR into Oxford as well, and I think in the distance here there is Albany. So Albany, I was looking up here, correct me if I'm wrong here, anyone from Western Australia, it's the second or third most populous city in Western Australia, but it only has a population of around 30 or 40,000 or something. This is the only airport serving the town. So sparsely populated. The fuel's not gone down. Definitely used it. I've not topped up the tanks. There's a tablet. Yeah, look, what's the gallons? 81 gallons, 82. It's very fuel efficient, isn't it? Endurance still 4.3 hours, 1,000 miles. But it's showing still slightly above full. Elevation's 233 feet. Roger, Steve. Thank you. Edo needs to, or telling us to check out those magnificent flying machines. I remember seeing like a YouTube short of all these aircraft that was sort of built in the 1920s. They're really incredible designs. Most end up crashing. Memphis Belle and Spirit of St. Louis films are great. Well, that and Airplane, of course. Oh, of course, classic Airplane. Top of descent in 6 minutes. To descend at 1,000 feet per minute. 170 knots. Awesome. So the NDB is sort of the ADF is swinging away at that NDB. Can we hit the ident actually? Should be able to. Oh, it's. Can you hear that? Very quiet. So Alpha Bravo Alpha, listening for dot dash dash dot 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 dash. That was Alpha Bravo Alpha, perfect. Did you hear that, guys? Very quiet. The volume for that's probably here. No, it doesn't seem to be going any louder. But I heard it. DME is going to have an ident as well. Delta Delta, so if I select DME. Probably not modelled. Delta Delta. But we have got DME here. No, it's just DME, that's all. Oh, I hear your tube loops regarding Sim Update 4, so devs will have to manually insert inertia data. Yeah, that's something that aircraft commercial jet airline is lacking Microsoft Flight Sim, is that inability to sort of keep moving, and certainly with sort of aircraft like the 7.3, to get that aircraft moving you need a bit more power or thrust that's required to sort of maintain or accelerate the aircraft. So once you get the aircraft moving, you've broken the inertia. Also, if you close the thrust levers, there's that continuation of movement. I'd say it's quite well modelled in Microsoft Flight Sim. It's alright, but it does feel better in X-Plane. The volume for Morse identifiers to be broken what, since FSX? Yeah, in Flight Sim it usually doesn't work properly. Stephen, you've got the weather, great. Don't know how Microsoft Flight Sim will implement that, but it says at Albany, not Alderney, partly cloudy, temperature 16, dew point of 6. The wind is from the west northwest at 16 knots. So yeah, definitely want to be landing on runway 32 then. Okay. Night light is gorgeous. Does look good. Does look very nice. So what we'll do, we'll let the aircraft accelerate into the descent, because we're going to have a little level segment. Well, not level, but 3,300 to 8 miles, and just descending about 600 feet after that. Yeah, very, very nice. Straight in approach. I haven't flown on a single ILS today. But you can see it's beautifully clear. You can see the city of Albany in the distance. Not such a fan of those strobing effects. They look a bit. There we are, overhead Arumi, inbound to Alpha Bravo Alpha. Further improvements in night lighting according to tube loops as well in Sim Update 4. Very good. Wait, how happened to my VS guidance? Oh, I don't know. Lost it. 3,300. 1 mile before Alpha Bravo Alpha. Ah, I've lost it. Seemed to disappear when we flew over that waypoint. I don't know. We can work it out manually. 9 minutes till descent. 8 minutes. So I wanted to send around 1,000 feet per minute. Level off at 3,300. So we need to lose about 6. So when we're 6 minutes away, we'll start descent at 1,000 feet per minute. What I can actually do is preset 3,300 now. Perfect. Actually, I think that's the wrong way to look. Straight in approach, 2 reds, 2 whites. Now we'll fly the NDB. Be a bit of a tailwind, I think, based off that weather. Hey, work, said Slane May, but the volume is incorrect. Ably low. Sorry, I'm competing with Determined Cat for the keyboard. You have to say that again, Slane. I think no one else has complained about the volume, so all good here. Everything's set as I would usually set it to. Alright, now as what we're going to accelerate. I don't mind levelling off at 3,300 a little bit early, so let's go to vertical speed. We'll set 1,000 feet per minute. Top of descent, ladies and gentlemen. Press engage. Down we go. Start reducing a bit of power. Let it accelerate to around 190 knots or so. Oh, the Morse code volume. Yes, Slade, I think it is. It's just low as it is. Can't actually turn it up. I tried turning it up. So, get an idea of our approach speed. Our current gross weight is 5,000 pounds or 5,100. That's going to be 91 knots on approach, crossing the threshold at 50 feet. Beautiful. Turn on my landing lights now. Temperature's all good, isn't it? 21. Oh, beautiful. Oh, you got ice lighting as well, so you can see the leading edge. Oh, that's cool. I'll try and show you the boots inflating. They do inflate. So if I go here to boots, surface, auto. Oh no, manual. But unfortunately, I can't. Can't see both. I think in auto you have to turn something else on as well, but if I go like this view here and then I can flick it to manual, I'll try and watch the boots. Can you see them inflating? Not quite. It's not great, but it did work. I tried it yesterday. But if you want in auto, it seems to be spring loaded, so how do I get it to stay in auto? It's very. I love the layout of the lights and the controls. Oh, it's a bit hazy with the lights on, isn't it? Jeez. 180 knots in descent, very, very nice. It's a great cruiser. I'm going to turn off this KNS 81 because I'm not actually using it. Oh. I don't know if there's any way on the tablet of seeing the... No, there's nothing that actually shows the boots. Alternator gear motor, battery, flap controls. Ah. No, I think I'm in love. My new favourite twin. Is there a decent Seneca though? I think Black Square just loves Beechcraft, don't they? They've got the Starship, this. I think there's a caravan coming, isn't there? Ooh, a failure stab. Nope. Anyway, you can see, look, we're slightly positioned to the right of the airfield. That's because the NDB is positioned to the south slightly. There you go. And what we'll do, we'll soon resort to conventional navigation, turn off the GPS, because this HSI is obviously based off GPS here. It's going to go all wobbly once we're over the airfield. Just a hard nope. Yep, no failures. Don't need them. So there's probably some sort of CTAF here, but I'm not on that since today. So check in and say, you know, inbound to the Albany NDB for the NDB approach runway 32, approaching 3,300 feet. So remember distance, outbound track 140 to Alva Needle. And a distance of 8 nautical miles. I'll probably, when I turn final though, disconnect and hand fly. So I need to start reducing speed now as well. So I don't know what's a sensible power setting, just not shock cool everything for descent. So I'll just slowly reduce power to around 17 inches. Turn off the prop sync. One to go. So mixture's fully rich. Start increasing the RPM to max. There we are, max RPM. Absolutely fantastic. Just make sure the aircraft levels off the MSA 3,300. That's the height we have to be at the start of procedure for the NDB. Going to resort to conventional navigation, so we'll just make sure the heading bug's exactly updated. There it is. And we can engage heading select. And on the HSI source or GPS, I'm going to turn off this so it goes to VLOC. That way the HSI is aligned. We're not using that, just using the NDB here. So push the head, pull the tail. Slight left turn. And we'll level off at 3,300. Keep the power around 17 inches. I want to fly the procedure. There's no maximum speed, so around 140, 130 knots. Good. So next altitude we can descend to is 2690, so we'll set 2,700 feet. Just watch my prop sync there. A power on the right engine. Still flying towards the NDB. DME is accurate. Slant range though 3,300, so it probably won't go down to 0. Should have just gone straight to the circuit, but hello, we'll do some instrument flying. Don't need any of the information here. So slight right turn. The head's just going over to the right. Jack's good, Stephen. Thank you very much. Not with me at the moment. Hello, the bed dragons. Haven't been able to catch you live in ages. Hope you're doing well, Captain. Very well. Thank you very much for popping in this morning. Alright, here comes the needle. You'll watch it swing round. So just small changes at this stage. Don't go chasing it. Near the NDB's located about here. What's flashing at me there? Waypoint, I think. We're on conventional nav. So this is the only instrument I'm using here for the approach and DME. It's going to be right over the beacon, look, and hardly any needle movement. You watch that swing round and we'll go straight outbound 140. I actually don't know what the wind is, so I should adjust that track, but we'll keep that tail of the needle on 140. This is slave with the compass, which really lowers the workload. It's great. When I did my IR, this wasn't slaved. You had to update the bug card every time you changed your heading. It's really annoying. Oh, it's going to be right over the beacon, guys. Right. Look at when the ground speed decreases. There's the needle swinging. Alright, so 140 outbound. Look at it go. Woof! Straight round. Wow! Alright. Pull the tail onto 140. And we can now start our descent to 2,700 feet. That's armed, vertical speed engaged. Ah! No! What have I done? 2,300. There we are. Oops, 2,700. Wrong altitude. There we go. Take a bit more power off. Tail of the needle is on about 145, so we're going to make a slight left turn here. Drag the tail around. Waking up everyone in Albany. Actually, they'll be having their dinner. I can lower the flaps, which I'll do on base leg. We're already below the maximum flap speed of 152. Just adjust the power because the props aren't quite in sync. Nice gentle descent to 2,700 feet. And we're now waiting till 8 miles. A little bit more of a left turn because the wind's just pushing us slightly off to the east there. West, I should say. No, we need to pull the tail onto 140. So you can see the tail of that needle is on around 143. So a little right turn, sorry, left turn to drag that tail back onto 140. Oh, giving me bad vibes of what rating this is. Can we bring up Navigaph, see how we're doing? Yeah, looking good. So bring it back on that track of 140. Once the tail is on that track of 140, we'll just update the heading. 4 miles outbound, so we'll start that turn at 8. We need to maintain 2,700 feet until 8 miles on the inbound track. So add a bit of power here. Just maintain 120 knots. Oh, hear those turbos spooling. So much for CDA, but yeah, it's all legal. Bang on 140. So just adjust that track slightly. It's much easier when having the autopilot engaged. Fantastic. What a great way of practicing instrument flying. Really, really nice. Tail of the needles on 140, so again just slowly adjusting that heading. Stay on the outbound track. That's what it looks like. Speed's good, 120 knots. And at 8 miles, 2,700, we'll look at our ground speed, start our rate of descent. Target rate of descent you can find here, based off your ground speeds, which is available here on DME. 6.5 miles. A bit hazy actually over here. Probably turn the lights off, but there you go. Getting ready for turn at 8 miles. Oh, I'd be proud of myself if this was my instrument rating. A bit of power in the turn here. So coming up to 8. And we want to have the head of the needle on the final track of 308. 7.7 miles. There's 8 miles now, turning 308. Give myself an intercept heading here slightly. Open up the cowl flaps. As you can see here, because we're going slow, look at the cylinder head temperatures which have increased slightly. Still below limits, but that will keep everything cool now, and the mixture is fully rich. Alright, so it's we turned very tightly. It's the green arrow I'm interested in, so we're going to wait until we've got that needle, the green head, on 308. So the moment it's on 315, and we're waiting for 8 DME, so now we can start descending to our minimums, which is 700 feet. So, outhold, 700 feet. Our ground speed is 120 knots, which is 637 feet per minute, so I'm actually going to set 700 feet per minute. There we are. Down we go to our minimums. 700 feet. And we're below 150, take flat 1. So the head of the needle, that's looking good actually. I want to be on 308, so let's bug 308. And we should see the runway ahead and on the correct rate of descent. Did I take a natural flops? I did. Approach flaps, reducing power further. There we are. So you can see here, I'm not lined up with the runway. That's completely normal. It's an offset approach, which I didn't actually mention in the briefing. Look, it's aiming towards the NDB. We should get ourselves lined up with the runway shortly. Doesn't actually mention how offset we are, but that's completely normal on this sort of approach. You just keep descending until you see the runway. Alright, dropping the gear. Full flap. Head of that needle's on around 308. It's bang on, look at that. Look at that. And we should be on the that line. Pah, can't teach it. So gear down, flaps, reducing speed to final approach speed of 91 knots. So landing checklist, anti-ice is as required, fuel booster pumps as required, air conditioning is off, heat as required, cowl flaps are open, 91 knots set. 3 whites, 1 red. I'm happy to disconnect now, guys. We're visual. But you could go right down to your minimums before flying the missed approach if not visual. Anyway, that's beautiful, looking good. Autopilot disconnected. Turn off the flight directors and all the guidance. 2 reds, 2 whites. So we'll keep on this track until we're on the extended centre line. 91 knots. Ground speed's 110. So target rate of descent's around 600 feet per minute. Sit up a little bit higher in the chair, there we are. .91 knots. I love the turbos. Goodness knows what the weather is in the sim though, there's no METAR here. I feel like there's a wind from the right. It's really, when you've got no wind information, it's a bit harder to judge where you need to position the aircraft. Yeah, I feel like it's crossing from the right here. Yeah. Gears down. Is it? Yeah, 3 greens. And full flap I've already selected. 3 whites, correcting. Yeah, there's a crosswind from the right. Back on Pappies. Yeah, you get a gear warning horn going off anyway. So missed approach altitude 3,300 I can actually set here. 3,300 feet. Speed is... oh, that's really fiddly. They are set. Very hazy, isn't it? Ah, here we go, boys and girls. There's minimums. Good. Bit low on the end, but no biggie. Come on. Oh, that's lovely. Speed brake up, reverses. Beautiful. The manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Albany, Western Australia. Very hazy. There we are. We're down. Very, very nice. Uh oh, I've got some blinking red lights there. I think that's just because the power's a bit too low. Fantastic. That was really, really good fun. NDB approach. Flown successfully. Off at Alpha, and then we'll just taxi? Taxi straight to stand. What's wrong with my words today? Right. Landing lights can come off. Leave the taxi light on. Fantastic. Oh, I forgot to turn on the replay tool again. Never mind. Awesome. So vacating the runway. Strobes can come off. Where are we going to park? Don't know. I'll make a right turn here. Generic. Someone's marshalling me over there. I'll ignore him. Park in front of this blue hangar. Oh, it's gone really hazy. Awesome. Well, we'll just park here. There's no parking spaces I can see. There we go. Very nice. Parking brake is set down there. And let's now do our after landing flow. So post flight after landing. Car flaps are open, flaps are up, lights as required. We can now turn off the taxi lights. We're parked on stand. Ice protection's all off. Air conditioning, cabin heater. We can turn the cabin heater off now. Shut down secure. Parking brake set. Avionics switch to off. All sub panel switches are off. Throttles are closed. Max RPM. Mixtures to idle cut off. There we are. Battery off, and alternators. Beacon light off as well. And there we are. And I've got my head torch on. Brilliant. I can press Shift C, look, and I can go into external walk around mode, and there's our beautiful Baron turbocharged B58. You can hear the engines. Oh look, we've got some dead bugs on my nose. Oh, that's really cool. Very, very nice. Fantastic. Well, there we are. We're going to end the stream there. Really enjoyed that, and a huge thanks to Just Flight and Black Square for giving me early access to this aircraft before release. It's an absolutely beautiful add-on. Again, I'm not up to speed with flying piston engine aircraft. It's a foggy, hazy memory from my instrument rating in CPL 15 years ago, but I have so much fun jumping in these aircraft and flying them, and I hope it demonstrated all of, or many of the features and quirks and perks of this aircraft. Will be available very soon, very reasonably priced, $32.99 for the amount of detail you get, but for a little bit extra you can get that Bonanza as well, with lots of variants, including a turbo-propped PT6 version, which is really good, which will be 45 quid, really reasonably priced. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It was nice to fly somewhere different at a different time, to have different people in chat as well. We'll end it here because I am going to work in about 3 or 4 hours time. But thank you very much to everyone for popping in this morning for the stream, or in the evening if you're over in Australia, all over the world, and there's lots of people watching all over. I'd love to see this aircraft again soon. Had a lot of fun flying it. Cheers guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Cheerio!